know exactly who you are. And I love it!
Dexter just delivered one of the most heartbreaking moments in the show's history. Angel Batista, the heart of Miami Metro, the man fans loved for nearly 2 decades, is gone. And the way it happened, the brutal words he left behind, have left fans devastated. This wasn't just another death. This was a piece of Dexter's soul being ripped away. So how did it all unfold? And why does it change everything going forward? Episode 9, titled Touched by an Angel, carried an ominous warning. Fans feared it would involve Batista. They were right. Batista had one mission: prove that Dexter Morgan was the Bay Harbor butcher. The NYPD dismissed him as unstable. He lost his authority. But he would not stop. He knew the truth. And that obsession led him directly into the crossfire of Leon Prater and Dexter. 9 episodes of deception erased instantly. Dexter's cover as Mr. Schmidt collapsed before our eyes, but the nightmare had only begun. Prater, obsessed with killers, made Batista the price of Dexter's loyalty. He strapped Batista onto Brian Moser's infamous kill table, the same table that haunted Dexter since season 1. The symbolism was cruel. Dexter once killed his brother because he fit the code. But Batista was innocent, a good cop, a loyal friend. Prater demanded Dexter kill him anyway. Dexter raised the knife. Fans held their breath. Would he really do it? Then he made his choice. He cut Batista free. It was an act of loyalty, a final hope that Batista might understand, that maybe, just maybe, they could stand together again. But that hope died instantly. Instead of running, Batista attacked Dexter. Years of bottled rage exploded. He screamed for Maria, for Dokes, for everyone Dexter had destroyed. It was raw, primal. Batista wasn't a detective anymore. He was a man seeking justice, and then the shots rang out. Prater opened fire, one bullet and then another and another, each round tearing away the hope that Batista might survive. The purest soul of Dexter's world was bleeding out on the floor. Dexter rushed to his side. He begged Batista to know one thing.
I didn't kill Maria or Dokes.
But Batista rejected him. His last breath carried nothing but rage.
Fuck you.
And then silence. Those words weren't just for Dexter. They hit every fan. Batista's final moment was hatred, not forgiveness, not peace, only betrayal. The fandom exploded. Some were heartbroken, others were furious at the cruelty of it. For many, it felt like losing a real friend, because Batista wasn't just a character. He was the conscience of the show, the moral center, the man who balanced all the darkness. Dexter's scream at the end was unforgettable. David Zayas gave Batista a farewell that was powerful and devastating. It rivaled Deb's death in the original series. But in some ways, it hurt even more, because Batista didn't die by mistake. He died for speaking the truth. Batista's death wasn't random. It was symbolic. It marked the collapse of everything Dexter once had. His friends are gone. His family is broken. And now even his oldest ally cursed his name with his final breath. Carrying guilt he can never escape, haunted forever by Batista's last words. This sets the stage for the finale. Prater is stronger than ever, and the New York Ripper mystery still looms. Batista's death lit the fuse. The finale is the explosion waiting to happen. Angel Batista, detective, friend, the heart of Miami Metro, is gone, and his final words echo through the fandom. Dexter Morgan, fuck you. Those words will haunt Dexter forever, and they will haunt us too. So what do you think? Was this the perfect way to end Batista's story, or did the writers go too far? If you're still watching, type RIP Batista in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Dexter Resurrection.
What if I told you the New York Ripper wasn't just one killer, but two? Dexter Resurrection may have just revealed the darkest twist yet, and the evidence will make you question everything you thought you knew about this show. Because from Blessing's mom's eerie cat statues, to family secrets that refuse to stay buried, to the shocking possibility that Gigi herself is the Ripper's daughter, the clues are stacking up. And once you see the connections, you'll realize this theory makes way more sense than the internet's favorite suspects.
She thought she could run. She didn't have anywhere to go in that shitty little house of hers. All she could do was cower in her own bed, your sweet little sister.
Fans thought they cracked the case when the show revealed the Ripper's voice in episode 7. It was chilling, a ghostly whisper that seemed to haunt victims long after the crime. But here's the catch. The Ripper hasn't been active in the present timeline. No physical attacks, no new kills. Just the voice, taunting from the shadows. That silence is terrifying, because killers like this don't stop. They wait. But what if the Ripper we hear isn't the same Ripper who started it all? What if Dexter Resurrection has been quietly building toward the reveal that the Ripper is actually two killers, one who began the legacy and another who refuses to let it die? Some fans already theorize that Leon Prater isn't the Ripper himself, but the one keeping the ghost alive, using recordings, misdirection, and manipulation to torment victims while carrying out his twisted obsession. And if that's true, then we might not just be chasing a single face, but a legacy passed down through two very different people. This brings us to one of the strangest background details in the series, the cat statues in Blessing's mom's collection. At first, they seem random, maybe just set dressing, but Dexter has never wasted set details like that. What if the cats are symbolic trophies, each one representing a victim or even a metaphor for 9 lives stolen by the Ripper? Think about it. Dexter has always used physical objects as markers of hidden darkness. Harry's code, Trinity's rituals, Dexter's own slides of blood. These cat statues might be the same kind of clue. A quiet reminder that the family is tied to death, whether Blessing realizes it or not. And here's the pun fans won't be able to ignore. If Blessing really is linked to the Ripper's crimes, is it a blessing or a curse? It would be the ultimate irony if Blessing carried the family stain, trapped between the innocence of his name and the curse of his bloodline. But the theory doesn't stop there. Let's talk about Gigi. Her role in the show has always felt deliberate. She's close to the chaos, yet the writers keep her background murky. And in Dexter, when someone's past is left unanswered, it's rarely an accident. What if Gigi is actually the Ripper's daughter? This would fit perfectly with the show's themes. Dexter and Harrison, Trinity and Jonah, the sins of the parent bleeding into the life of the child. It's a recurring idea in the Dexter universe. Children inheriting darkness they never asked for. If Gigi is the Ripper's daughter, it explains her placement in the story. She's not just a side character, she's a living connection to the very mystery haunting New York. Her existence ties directly into the generational curse that keeps the Ripper's name alive. And imagine the emotional twist. Gigi discovering her father was the most feared serial killer in New York's history. It would turn her into both victim and suspect, heir and hunted. So how does it all fit together? Prater manipulates from the shadows, carrying the Ripper's voice, his weapon, his legend. Blessing's family hides subtle markers of death in their home, cat statues that may be silent trophies of a killer's legacy. Gigi stands as the possible daughter of the Ripper, the biological heir to his darkness. Together, these 3 threads create a chilling picture. The Ripper is not a single man, but a curse passed on through family, disciples, and bloodlines. That's why the Ripper feels unstoppable, because even if one dies, another rises to keep the name alive. Here's where the theory gets truly terrifying. What if the Ripper is less of a man and more of a myth? A curse that can be carried by anyone willing to take it on. Think about it. The drunk driver who killed Prater's parents admitted he was a serial killer. He may have been the original Ripper, the one who started it all. Prater, desperate for connection, took on his legacy. Blessing, through family ties, may be carrying markers of it without even knowing. And Gigi, well, she may be carrying the blood of the Ripper himself. One killer begins, another imitates, another inherits. That's why the Ripper never goes away, because the Ripper isn't one man at all. It's a curse that lives on. And honestly, this theory makes more sense than the Jonah Mitchell idea. Jonah showing up in New York years later feels cheap, but a Ripper that's more than a man, one who survives through family, through symbols, through disciples. That's the kind of reveal Dexter Resurrection is building toward. So what do you think? Are the cat statues a secret code? Is Blessing really cursed? And could Gigi be the Ripper's daughter, carrying the bloodline of New York's most feared killer? If you're still watching, drop 2 Rippers in the comments. Let's see how many of you are brave enough to carry this theory forward. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the discussion, because the New York Ripper's secret is only getting darker from here. Harrison thinks he's finally found love. In Dexter Resurrection, his connection with Gigi feels like the one thing pulling him toward a normal life. But what if that love isn't what it seems? Because some fans believe Gigi is hiding the darkest secret of all, that she's the daughter of the New York Ripper. If that theory is true, it would mean Harrison and Gigi are bound together not just by romance, but by blood. Both of their fathers could be serial killers. And that shocking possibility changes everything we thought we knew about the show. So what's the truth? Is Gigi really the Ripper's daughter? And if so, what does that mean for Harrison's future? When Gigi first appeared in episode 7, most fans assumed she was just Harrison's new love interest, a character designed to give him stability in a world full of chaos. But for longtime Dexter viewers, that immediately raised a red flag, because this franchise has a history of introducing seemingly innocent characters late in the story, only for them to hide massive secrets. Think back to Season 1, when Rudy Cooper turned out to be Brian Moser, Dexter's own brother and the ice truck killer. Gigi's timing feels like deja vu, and that's why the theories around her exploded so fast. The most suspicious detail is her injured arm. She laughs it off, blaming a recent motorcycle crash, but the vagueness almost feels deliberate. Why bring so much attention to a wound if it isn't hiding something bigger? In Dexter, details like this are never random. It may not explain why the Ripper stopped years ago, but it could be the writers planting a seed, a hint that Gigi's past isn't as clean as it looks. Then there's her eerie connection to Harrison. Within moments of meeting him, she somehow recognizes he's an orphan. That's not normal intuition. That feels like lived experience, like she too grew up with the scars of a broken family. Fans have pointed out that Gigi's quick insight could signal her own ties to foster care or orphanhood, the same world where Harrison has always struggled to belong. But here's where things get even darker. The Ripper's voice, revealed in episode 7, was clearly male. Or was it? In an age of voice changers, AI tools, and deliberate misdirection, the idea that the show gave us a male voice might just be a trick. After all, Gigi being a woman would make her the perfect misdirect. By hiding behind a fake male voice, she could have kept suspicion away from herself all along. And then came episode 8. Harrison and Gigi's relationship moved forward quickly, maybe too quickly. We saw them spend the night together in a hotel, and the next morning, Harrison woke up, opened the curtains, and smiled at her sleeping by his side. It was one of the few moments in his life where he seemed truly happy, almost like he was free from his father's darkness at last. But that's exactly why it felt like a setup, because in storytelling, when a character finally finds peace, it's usually the calm before the storm. Episode 8 hammered that theme home. Multiple killers, from Blessing to Al to even Dexter himself, talked about keeping their secret lives away from their families. But those walls are crumbling fast. And for Harrison, that means his new love might be dragging him back into the very world he's desperate to escape. Think about the parallels. Harrison is haunted by his father's legacy as the Bay Harbor Butcher. Gigi may be haunted by the legacy of the New York Ripper. Put them together, and what do you get? Two kids born in blood, unknowingly recreating the same tragic cycle. Their bond isn't just attraction, it's recognition. A killer sensing another killer. And that's exactly what makes this theory so terrifying. If Gigi really is the Ripper's daughter, then Harrison isn't walking away from his past. He's walking straight back into it. If Gigi's secret comes out, Harrison won't just be heartbroken, he could be dragged into a spiral that ends with prison, or worse. And the writers know exactly what they're doing. Dexter has always been about legacies, about how the sins of one generation poison the next. For Harrison and Gigi, that theme could explode into the deadliest twist yet, because their shocking connection isn't just romantic, it's deadly. So the real question is this: will Harrison uncover Gigi's truth before it destroys him, or will he repeat his father's fate by letting love blind him to the monster right beside him? What do you think? Is Gigi really the Ripper's daughter, or is this another brilliant misdirect? Drop your theories in the comments, and let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes.